Plastids. Plastids are double membraned organelles and it is of two types, leucoplasts and chromoplasts. Leucoplasts are white or colorless and they play a very important role in storing starch, oil, proteins, etc. Whereas chromoplasts, they are the colored plastids and they are responsible to impart color to the plant. You must have seen a lot of flowers which are yellow, orange, red in color. You also know that the leaves of the plants are green in color. This different color that you see around you in plants is because of the chromoplast. So it is clearly understood that plastids are the organelles which are present only in plants. What gives it this color? This color that it has got is because of pigments present. Pigments are nothing but the colored material or the color imparting natural material that is present in the plants. So pigments are nothing but colored substances or anything which gives color is a pigment. Let's look at the different types of pigment. Anthocyanin and betalains. These are the pigments which give color. Now if you see, it is giving you different kinds of color. That is why it's written on the left hand side also. It is written on the right hand side also. Anthocyanin is the pigment which gives purple color, blue color or even red color to the fruits and the plants. Betalains give red color to the plants. Anthocyanin and betalains, they are very similar in structure, but the difference is that anthocyanin does not have nitrogen, betalains have nitrogen. Okay? Chlorophyll is the pigment which gives green color to the plant, and that is why you have the leaves of the plant being green because leaves have chlorophyll in it. Carotenoids give orange color. Xanthophyll, which is not mentioned in this table, but xanthophyll is a pigment which gives yellow color. So all the different colors which you see in the plants is mainly because of the different pigments present in it. But you must have observed that tomato, when it is raw, it is green in color. But when it is ripe, it is red in color. Why is this change in it? It is mainly because the pigments, they change or they can get converted from one form to another. So when the tomato is raw, it has chlorophyll in it because it is green, and as it is getting ripe, this chlorophyll is broken down and it gets converted into lycopene. Lycopene gives the red color in the tomato. So these pigments, as they change, the color also changes. Now, chloroplast is one of the most important organelle that is present in the plant cell. The plant, we know, is autotrophic. Autotrophic means that it has the capability to perform photosynthesis. That most important process of photosynthesis is done in the organelle called chloroplast. Chloroplast has two membranes in it, the outer membrane and the inner membrane. And inside the inner membrane, there have thylakoid. Thylakoid is nothing but it is a sac kind, a coin-like structure, and this coin-like structure is placed one upon the other like a stack of coin. This stack is called as granum. This is the place where the granum or the thylakoid, they can trap the solar energy and it can get converted, it converts it into chemical energy or food. The stroma contains very important DNA, ribosomes, carbohydrates, enzymes which are very much important for photosynthesis. So this entire structure of the chloroplast helps in converting solar energy into chemical energy or food. So chloroplast helps in photosynthesis, chromoplast gives color, and leucoplast gives it has a capacity of storing food like proteins, starch, oil, etc. And all of these come under plastids. So chloroplast, chromoplast, leucoplast all come under plastids. Let's look at how it looks in chloroplast. This is the chloroplast, and inside when you go, you will have these stack-like substances, which is nothing but your thylakoid, which help in trapping solar energy and converting it into chemical energy. From all these, you must have clearly understood that all the functions in the plant cell and the animal cell, it takes place very smoothly because of the different cell organelles that work in complete coordination. And such developed cells are called as eukaryotic cells. If you look at the left hand side, the cell that you see is the eukaryotic cell. You see so many different organelles in it, where you can find the endoplasmic reticulum, you can find the Golgi bodies, you can find the nucleus, you can find the mitochondria, you can find so many different things in it. So all this working together forms a eukaryotic cell, which is larger in size. The eukaryotic cell is 5 to 100 micrometer in size. Okay, and this kind of cell is found in plants and animals. But if you look on the other side, just look at the prokaryote. The prokaryote, if you see, it does not even have a nucleus. The thread-like structure which you find in the middle of the cell, it is the nucleoid. That is, it is the genetic material of that cell. It does not have a nucleus. It does not have any other organelle other than the nucleoid and the ribosome. These are the only two things which a prokaryotic cell will have. The prokaryotic cell is also very small in size. It is just 1 to 10 micrometer. Okay, so that is a main difference. And this prokaryotic cell, the examples of prokaryotic cell is bacteria. So there's a lot of difference between eukaryotic cell as well as the prokaryotic cell. I hope the entire chapter and the different organelles and the different functions are all clear to you. Kindly read the text properly from page